So I decided to return to World of Warcraft War Within after leaving the game only a couple months after War Within launched, and now coming back probably a few months before midnight. And I've come in to utter lunacy. No idea where I am, what needs doing, or anything. Let's do 3 points that are good, 3 that are bad, and just throw my 2 cents into the ether that is YouTube. So, the good stuff. First off, this combat has been awesome. Chaos and lunacy. But that is what an arcade game does. And it's been really exciting. I have found challenging locations, so the arcade mix with the challenge has been really, really captivating. It might be a simple case of doing some world quests, being on my little griffin boy, flying in like a meteor from space and absolutely blasting 10 mobs down with all the numbers flying up on the screen. Lovely. And like I said, lunacy. And quite honestly, I have not found anywhere better for the mixture of the combat and the difficulty than Delves. And just for clarification, I am a casual, peasant MMO RPG player.
Maybe this is a bad idea.
The Delves. So if you've got 15-20 minutes, you can jump into a delve solo with friends, have a big scuffle, get meaningful loot, and leave like the little Azerothian heroes we all are. And along with my boy Bran, constantly saying, I hope you're ready for this. I mean, what fun won't you have? The progression loop works. You do the delve, you raise your companion's level, you get him little curios, little upgrades, you get better gear, unlock higher tiers, the bigger rewards, that makes sense even at the end game. As someone returning, one of the best things is that delves give you a way back into gear and progression without being overwhelmed by the top end mythic raid mechanics or these huge time sinks. And that does lead nicely into that gameplay. If you want to eventually dive into it, you can see the core design methodology there. They're very nicely integrated into the game. And besides the fun you have, they tie into the bigger picture of the expansion's endgame reward systems, and they feel like real content, not just filler. Blizzard have got that track record of adding systems that are half-baked, feel like filler, and then get abandoned. And I don't think they've done that with Delves. And it looks like they're bringing them into the next expansion, so that I'm excited for. It's nice to have this challenging combat system with good rewards and the ability to kick an exploding football into a giant spider thing's face. The zones. These new zones are gorgeous. This art team deserves a raise. Seriously, Blizzard can mess up everything else, but the art team should still be deserving of that raise, painting their little masterpiece rocks and mushrooms everywhere, and I'm sat there like, people, get them a bobby yacht. And that includes the music team, because the music team do a fantastic job with their tunes as you're exploring these beautiful locations, and I'm sat here preparing future adventures away from the game, blasting these tunes out on my Spotify. Honestly, every corner is just like concept art. You could easily fly around, get a couple of snippets, add it to your wallpaper. I multiple times found myself getting rid of my UI and doing a little RP walk around, walking into the little buildings, walking along a cliff edge. It's just beautiful. 10 out of 10, would recommend. TripAdvisor, Jet2 holidays, get yourself there, why not? So those are some good things, and I mean real good things that I really personally enjoyed. They are definitely my top 3 highlights from my time in this game so far. But there are some bad things. It's not perfect, things that I am not too keen on, so let's get into those. I think a good way for me to explain my feeling that when I came back to War Within was, imagine you have your local shop and you go into that shop every day. You know what it looks like, you know what it sounds like, you know where all of your bits and bobs are. And then one day, you get back in there, and it's been expanded. They've added a few more floors. The car park's 10 times the size, and you've got no idea where anything is anymore. You're lost. Of course you'd be. Literally how I felt coming into this. There were quest icons everywhere. Donegal, full of them. They were all the same. I had no idea where to go. My adventure guide came up saying, try this, or this, or this, or this. I didn't know where to start, and it took me having to come out, go onto YouTube, go to the usual World of Warcraft content creators and get some guidance, because I was an utter little lost lamb, and without them I would still be running around Donegal now, wondering what on earth I'm doing. What on earth I'm doing. Now, that's not to say that it's all bad, because it's new content that's been added. The norm is not to come into the game at the end of an expansion. The norm is to come from the start. So I do give credit where credit's due, that that's more of a new player problem. However, I just feel like Blizzard needs a bit of streamlining on how to deliver that, instead of just text on text adventure guides that just don't really make that much sense to someone who's new. The story. Whew. Blizzard have really dropped the ball on story for the last few expansions. This isn't a War Within problem alone. I feel like the War Within story is probably the best we've had for a while. Since Legion? I mean, I was doing this video and I actually completely forgot that Dragonflight happened between Shadowlands and this. I thought we were coming from Shadowlands. Idiot. But, you know, these new characters, they're bland. You don't connect to them as much as we've connected with previous characters. I can't even tell you what their names are, and I've just been doing hours of adventures with them. You know, even that includes the villains. The new plots that I've had, again, feel bland, very forgettable. I can't remember any story beats from this. There's no Illidan, Arthas level of plot here. I just miss falling in love with characters such as Arthas, Jaina, Tyrande, Sylvanas, Thrall. These are the characters that we love, and I can't even remember the names of what characters we've been given in War Within. I won't harken on that. I'll do a whole video, I think, on the story alone, because that's going to be quite a big deep dive. It's just forgettable. The whole thing is forgettable. It's bland. Let's see if we can do better. I am so happy to be back. I am having a blast. Blizzard, I'm going to rate this expansion pretty highly so far. And it is just me seeing it at the arse end of things, which isn't ideal. But from what I'm getting here, and from what I'm seeing, I'm really enjoying it. But boom! In it comes. Look at me. I'm a happy little boy. I'm having a great time. Look at this. I'm a dwarf lad running around, kicking ass. Blizzard, here's my money for the box price of the game. Here's my money now for a monthly subscription. Yeah, I can see you got some microtransactions in there, but that's not quite ideal. I'd rather be able to earn that and get... Oh, the half seal as well. Oh, good. Good. Why? Again. I can't say whether this is Blizzard. I can't say whether this is Activision, Microsoft. I've seen some crazy things that Microsoft's saying about these companies needing to make 30% profit margins or whatever. I'm not a business analyst, but dear Lord. Another in-game microtransaction focused play is shocking. I will be doing another video on that. I fancy a rant. And I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to bore you lovely people. Not right now anyway. I'll bore you in that video. So there we go guys. That's probably a good way to wrap it up. We've gone over a few points. this is more of an impressions. I can't really rate an expansion when I've missed the majority of its life. But I've enjoyed playing it, I've enjoyed talking about it. If you've gotten this far, please know that I really appreciate you just listening to me rambling on my nonsense. Cheers guys, do really appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. Be good.